707. Rise from among silent meditation. Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bast.
Here.
Cassatt.
Here.
Mope. Here. Sosar.
Here.
Mundy.
First, approving the minutes of the previous meeting, November 10, 2014, work session, and special meeting.
I'll present.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It's approved. Proclamations, communications, none. Courtesy of the floor regarding matters on the agenda only.
Grace Cuso. I'm here on Resolution 2014-119 and 120, and I'm asking all of Council to please approve these LSA grant applications. These two grant applications will bear on all the ratepayers in the City of Hazleton with the Sewer Authority. One is for the incinerator, the other one is directly for the Buttonbach project in the city, which we've been paying for that one for years and has never gotten done. I'm asking you all, please, if you vote for none of the other ones, these are very important projects. And if you don't vote and we don't get the money, ratepayers are going to see raises. And that is something that infuriates me. And this is where the money belongs. This is what those LSA programs are all about. It is supposed to help the most. And these will service 4 municipalities. And if you need anything, yell at me. I'll answer if I can.
The incinerator is for
The incinerator
Buttonbach
is for the city. But it's still through the Sewer Authority.
Okay.
Okay? And that money would come from the township and the city who pay the sewer transmission fee funding. Okay? That's where that would come out of. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mark Rabo. In regards to Resolution 2014-129 and 125, I have a question as far as, I don't have as I said previously, I don't have a problem with downtown revitalization, but I do have a concern that some of the city officials that serve on the Downtown Alliance are in conflict of interest for applying for any kind of grants that would somehow go to, because they're on the board of this nonprofit board. So my question is that a conflict of interest for the mayor to be on a board, serving on a board, and then applying for the money for the LSA? That's my question. And also, with regards to the security saving, as the 129 for the security savings building, when we were at the Luzerne County meeting, Jack, you remember you were there with me. I asked 2 questions, and I would like to ask those same 2 questions. One is, where were the assessments done, or when was the assessments done, if they were any done? And 2 would be also that the crime needs to be addressed. And this is what I said. I said that I questioned the finalization of the plans prior to purchase the building. And I also questioned where the money would be coming from to purchase the building and make the alterations needed for the project. So is $1 million enough is what I'm asking as far as the $1 million for the LSA application, because I'll tell you right now, if you didn't do an assessment for what the alterations or what the remediations are going to cost, how do you know if it's going to be enough? You're going to have to come back here for another 2 or 3 rounds for LSA money in order to fix it, because I don't know if $1 million is enough. If the building has structural problems, it's going to be a lot more than that. So that's why I'm asking. So just the conflict of interest and the cost and the assessment of the cost for, remediating the security savings building and the part where the park is going to be on the former Greco property. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Dee Deacus, Hazleton. This again is concerning 125. When did we earmark the money in the CBDG grant that we're supposed to be matching? I don't remember seeing that 150,000. The city will match the LSA grant with CDBG funds.
Fallon's here. Fallon's not here today. We'll have to check with Fallon.
Because it's just recently they changed that from a parking garage to a park, so I can't imagine that we would have it in CDBG funds for a park. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Do we want to postpone this one? I wish we would have had somebody here.
One quick question. There's two articles in there regarding plow equipment for the city. There's a lease that you have for $75 an hour and also to purchase a truck. Is that a conflict? Because we still need to be leasing plows if we're going to be buying a new truck, or how much of an advantage?
It's addition.
It's an additional to our workers. It's when they get, when we get a storm and we need your help. That's what that's.
If it's a big storm and it's more than what our force could handle, then we had additional help.
But so if we get the new truck, we might not need to call on the additional help then.
We might not, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and if we don't, then we don't.
And how big a truck is it that we're looking at?
I don't know, Frankie's not here and Mr. Watkins not here. It's one of the bigger ones, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No other questions from the audience. We'll move to ordinances none, resolutions none, new business ordinances none. Resolution 2014-119, resolution requesting local share funds for the Greater Hazleton Joint Sewer Authority.
I'll present.
Second.
On the question? Roll call?
Bast,
Yes.
Cassatt,
Yes.
Mope,
Yes.
Sosar,
Yes.
Mundy.
Yes. Next is resolution 2014-120, a resolution supporting the local share account funds applications for the Greater Hazleton Joint Sewer Authority incinerator additional emission control equipment and installation.
I'll present.
Second.
On the question? Roll call?
Bast,
Yes.
Cassatt,
Yes.
Mope,
Yes.
Sosar,
Yes.
Mundy.
Yes. Next is resolution 2014-121, awarding the contract for the 2014 and 15 winter emergency snow removal equipment.
I'll present.
I'll second.
On the question?
What it's for, we've always done this, and it's just like they said. If we have 2 feet of snow, and we need to call people to help us, that's what we have this implemented for. Okay.
So for regular usage on an average storm?
Right, on a regular basis, this isn't used, but it's on-call emergency basis that we have the resolution already passed. So if Frank needs someone that they need to call people, they can just call the people that we don't have to call an emergency session of council in a snowstorm to pass a resolution.
Thank you.
Roll call?
Bast,
Yes.
Cassatt,
Yes.
Mope,
Yes.
Sosar,
Yes.
Mundy.
Yes. Next is resolution 2014-122, a resolution for the appointment of the sewage enforcement officer for the city of Hazleton in accordance with the regulations of the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection.
second.
On the question?
Is this something we do every year? I never,
Yeah. Yes. Done it.
okay,
Although the sewers are ours, there's a sewer
No,
authority, but I think
it's-
we have to appoint somebody.
okay.
I think it's a requirement because
Okay,
most
I just-
municipalities have their own sewers, but
Yeah.
ours are transferred, so we have to fulfill the requirement.
Okay. I just haven't been here in the past. And
What I would ask too.
Okay, roll call?
Bast,
Yes.
Cassatt,
yes.
Mope,
Yes,
Sosar,
Yes.
Mundy.
Yes. Resolution 2014-123, awarding a contract to furnish and deliver unleaded gasoline and diesel fuel.
I'll present.
Second.
On the question?
Excuse me, Jack.
Yeah.
I had to leave these blank because I could not get an answer from anyone to see when this contract would begin. So that's why it's blank.
Well, we don't have one right now, so I'm assuming it would either
I don't know if it started like immediately or
now
at the
or it
first
would
of the
start
year.
in the first
Yeah.
of the year.
And nobody could give me an answer, so.
K&K Oils or?
Never heard.
I might have the information, let me see.
That's all right, I just wondered.
All I know is they need gasoline, and we have to have a contract, and they were the bidder that was the lowest. So, I don't know what do you want to do as far as the starting date. We can't put one in.
Well,
Starting immediately or as soon as possible?
I'm sure it was probably in the bid requirements.
the bid specs, I'm
So
Okay,
I'm sure it'll,
so according to the bid specs.
okay. Do you want to amend it and put according to the bid specs?
Yeah, well, we'll just put according,
I think for that, probably I would suggest that we just, according to the bid specs, that's the way we've done it clean. So I think I would make the amendment to suggest that it would be according to the bid specs of the lowest responsible bidder.
okay.
Okay? And that way it's clean.
This way we're covered.
So I'll make that amendment right now.
I'll second it on the amendment. Roll call?
Bast,
Yes.
Cassatt,
yes.
Mope,
Yes,
Sosar,
Yes.
Mundy.
Yes. Okay, now on
The
the
vote.
amendment resolution?
I'll present.
It was
already presented.
already.
Oh,
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
yeah, we
already have
presented,
that.
we didn't.
We just have to
Okay.
go to question.
Well, I presented anyhow.
Right.
Okay, roll call?
Bast,
Yes.
Cassatt,
Yes.
Mope,
Yes,
Sosar,
Yes.
Mundy.
Yes. Next is Resolution 2014-124, resolution exempting a veteran from the real estate taxes for the years 2011, 12, and 13.
Presented.
I'll second.
On the question? Roll call?
Bast,
Yes.
Cassatt,
Yes.
Mope,
Yes,
Sosar,
Yes.
Mundy.
Yes. Next is Resolution 2014-125, a resolution requesting local share account funds for the Broad and Laurel Street Center City Park project.
I'll present it.
Second? On the question? I think Krista's here.
Yeah, she's here.
is she here?
Anybody
Okay.
have any questions for Krista?
Yeah.
Krista, could you come to the podium, just state your name and your position?
My name is Krista Schneider. I'm the Executive Director of the Downtown Hazleton Alliance for Progress.
Krista, one of the things that it says here is that the city will match the LSA grant with CBDG funds. Is that a commitment already that you've gotten from the administration that will be taken care of for this coming year?
I don't know the details of the CDBG fund funding match. I just know that the city had funding that could be used for park improvements in CDBG.
Because that would be $150,000 that we would be committing to that.
I can't answer that particular question.
Well, I mean, if you're asking for a grant of $150,000, that doesn't mean you'll get it. That means, they'll give you whatever it happens to be, but it could be up to and including $150,000.
An LSA grant does not require a match. It doesn't, and it certainly doesn't require a one-to-one match. So I think maybe what they're referencing is a dollar value that will be used to help fund the project, but a match for an LSA grant is not actually required.
Did you talk to anybody at Fallon or anybody?
Dominic spoke with me about this, and my understanding was that the city had money left in or in a CDBG account, or perhaps there was some money left over from the LSA grant that could be used towards this project, and that's really all I know.
You wrote this on behalf of the city, not the Downtown Alliance, correct?
This particular project, the Alliance doesn't have any involvement in. I mean, we support the project.
Yes,
but
this has nothing to do with the Downtown Alliance.
Not from a grant or funding perspective.
In other words, this is the city
asking.
Yeah, this is a city initiative, city grant request by the city.
I'm kind of lost on this with Broad and Laurel. It was to be the now famous parking garage, the robotic garage, which is no more, thank goodness. But in beautifying, and I understand the need to kind of fix that area on up, but where exactly did this come from? If this isn't the Alliance asking for this, I know you're supporting it, but
right.
is this administration that is suggesting this? Is this who that would be talking? I'm just kind of lost.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that the mayor asked Dominic to move forward with.
Well, but then
I don't know.
Okay,
I didn't see anything with the.
See, here's one of the problems. You're talking about $1 million that was to go to that evidently was to go to the parking garage from that money, and that was questionable to begin with. Now you're left with about $2.5 million. Now, if I don't know if this money is part of that people want to toss around or whatever, it really becomes questionable how you use the money, and do you even have a right to use it to build a park or to beautify it?
No, the
if
money
that was LSA money to start with.
No,
Keith, how
the
can
money
you do that?
the money that from what I know or what I think I know is all the money that is left, that 2.4, 2.6, it has to go into the parking structures that are like to fix the one that we do have. They can't use that money for a park.
When was that decided?
I think that's
I didn't even know.
Function. I think
we
that's
talked
the function
about $1 million.
I think
That's
think
$1
that's
million
the function
question
of
right
that.
there.
Yeah, the function of that grant, the whatever's left of that 4.8 million that was there.
Yeah.
That was for parking. You can't just go and take that and put it in. That's not CDBG money, so that can't get
But
used.
then where? I mean, you understand where I'm coming from. I still don't know where any matching money comes from that the administration is suggesting.
I mean, if they said it's
here.
CDBG money, it would be coming from
That's for this year.
CDBG funds. That's completely different than that 2.8.
Right.
I understand that now, but then for this year's money, I mean, most of 2013, I think, has been allocated, and we don't even
know where either. I mean, I don't support
what's going on
this.
for 2014 yet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't support this because I don't see putting a park on on Laurel and Broad is in a place where if there could be a business there where we already are landlocked the way it is, and downtown, if something can get put there to just completely take that away and make it a park, I as far as I'm concerned, I don't support this.
Well, I don't like the idea of the garage, first of all, and thank God, it's like I said, it's dead. but to refurbish, are we talking the entire area of what that lot would be then, or what?
Well, let me.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it's
let me
about.
back up. And I haven't seen the language of the resolution, so maybe I could take a look at it and better understand it.
Sure.
But
There should
to,
be one under
to
your-
address the.
Look underneath.
Underneath.
Oh, that's where they are.
It would be 2014-125, closer to the back of your agenda.
Well, just two things. In response to Mr. Bass' question, that's why we did the strategic plan. We were, we paid DHAP, the Downtown Hazleton Alliance for Progress, paid $25,000 and got a matching grant from DCED to fund another $25,000 to fund a strategic plan for downtown revitalization. And we have held, numerous stakeholder meetings, public meetings. Council has been invited to those. We've held public presentations, workshops, interviews, online voting, you name it. I mean, we've tried to be very transparent and inclusive in this process, and almost everyone really has supported the idea of a park, a city park on that lot, as a civic plaza, civic park. It's a place for the farmers market to take place. Downtown Hazleton has no civic space. If you want to host an event, you got to close Broad Street.
Right.
The Fun Fest. There's no park downtown to really host any of those cultural events. Our plans, for purchasing now the Security Savings Bank building, turning that into an arts center, it's a complementary use to have cultural events and outdoor exhibits and that outside. Everybody seems to really support the idea of a park, and so that's why we've adopted it as part of our strategic planning recommendations. And I believe that's why, the mayor has now, that the parking garage is no longer an option, been supporting the concept of a park on that lot, because that's what, our public input has shown is highly desirable. And, there is value to open space in the sense of from a city revitalization project. And so that's why we support the project. As far as the funding is concerned, I don't know, again, I can't speak to the money, the match that's stated here. I just know that we support the project, the concept.
I think there are other ways to achieve maybe the same goal. And let me throw this on out. And I'm going to speak out of turn on this one and probably get railed for it, but nonetheless I will. Years ago, on McKinley Street, when the tank was being built, the Hazleton Water Authority wanted to put up a park. And in fact, they did a small park. But one of the grand ideas of it was to showcase the Water Authority. And part of what was suggested at that time was, if anyone will remember, the possibility of a little spray park, little fountain, something to recognize all that has been done and achieved by that local authority. You know what? This, to allow children to have a place to cool off. I mean, I don't know about you. I know Kristen, because I know you. I know you've traveled a lot. I know you've been in Boston for schooling and everything else. I mean, you've seen these every place. Little places where water can come up and kids can enjoy and just have a little fun for a summer day when it gets really hot. You might very well want to talk, and I think, rather than, and I know that when does this have to be approved by? One of the things that I would suggest is that there are other ways to achieve the same goal, and the Water Authority may very well be one of the things that you could utilize to do just that. They didn't succeed at what they were doing up at McKinley Park because people all of a sudden said, no, we don't want to do that up there. A park to put up some grass and some benches until, Keith, maybe we find a better use for it, even if it just be a small fountain. Might be a way to go because it's an option, and then it saves some money for people, and yet at the same time it beautifies.
Is that a possibility, at least? I'm looking for a happy compromise here, I guess is what I'm doing.
But what she's saying, and Jeff had said and whatnot, this is something that we have to direct to the administration, because she's just
Yeah.
here.
And you know what? What is the deadline on this right now?
We actually, December 31st is the grant deadline, so a resolution would have to be passed in order
You
to
need it
submit the
next
grant by
meeting then.
December
Yeah.
31st.
The next meeting, can't wait it. No.
The concept plan, we actually have a concept plan, a design for the park that has been prepared by our consultants, that we've been paying on behalf of the strategic, downtown plan. I think I shared that with you all.
Yeah.
So, it's a concept plan. It's not to say it could change, and certainly a fountain has been thrown around as an idea and can certainly be added. I think it's only going to benefit the downtown, whether it's phased or happens all at once.
Dave, you could also maybe talk to the water authority about maybe putting a fountain in there next year,
But
in
Well,
conjunction with what we're doing.
I guess what I'm saying right now is that I'm scared about this, the allocating of funds from the CBDG for this when...
you could always pass it and then change your mind after, because that CDBG could be 15 money too. So it doesn't have to be
It probably will go.
15.
The grant won't be awarded till next year, right?
At the earliest, April. But this past year, it wasn't.
Yeah, you're here in June usually for the grants.
There's a budget that needs to be submitted with the grant that would state, what the match is and where it's coming from.
Yeah, because I can't, it's tough enough when there are some issues with CBDG money that needs to be spent for some of the problems that we have in the area, let alone, it's been an eyesore, I know, but, and I look at this kind of figure for all of that, it's a lot of money.
My understanding was the CDBG funds was $50,000. At some point, I thought I remembered that number, not $150,000.
Okay,
So
I'm just going by this will
I know.
match down here, Krista, and that scares me a little bit, especially with the engineering.
The funding available, if there's money in the budget too, I think.
Okay.
I think that's an option, David.
Okay.
We can't give them money that we might not have.
Yeah.
It would have to wait till the 2015 budget.
The one question I have is if that piece of property is not being used for what we took it for, don't the Grecos have a right to fight for custody of it?
No,
We
because,
that lawsuit.
we took it for parking.
we took it anyway. We could do it, we originally took it.
I was waiting for Chris to get back to me, but we took
But
it
then
for...
it was settled, and I think it was settled and bought, so it doesn't matter at this point.
They did in their agreement when they sold it, they're saying you have to build the park.
Yeah, it went through eminent domain, and then it never got to the point where it went to court, and then we bought it off of them with the money from
So it didn't go
the grant, yeah.
They gave up, what we used it for. That is a good point, though. You could say that, eminent domain, we did it because we needed a parking garage, and now you're...
They took it in their...
We didn't do it, the mayor did it because
Yeah.
he wanted a
Do
robotic
we
garage.
have any?
Let's be honest here.
I know I'm
we do have
sounding
two more.
picky, but please please understand. It says phase 2 will include lighting, trees, benches, and other amenities. What were the plans for these amenities as well? I mean, they could be expensive, they could be cheap.
Be an airplane.
Phase.
When that doesn't
I'm
vote.
sorry.
I guess it's what could be available.
My understanding was the phase 1 was to add topsoil and seed the patch of ground that remains
They need to
from
fill
the
the holes.
foundation.
Okay, and that would be a good thing to have, because until you need to use it for something else, to have a lawn that could be cut, to be utilized for whatever, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
Until
until it's
phase
used for
1
something
is
else.
okay. I don't have a problem with
Yeah,
phase
it's
1.
the
It would be
phase
with
2
phase
part that I
2
don't like
that
as
you
well.
that you kind of go. And this is talking already about a phase 2 before you even have phase 1 done.
I think we'd be able to vote on phase 2 or going forward.
We're kind of voting on it now.
Is there anything from the, like,
Well,
the,
phase two, they would need more money for. You'd have to come
this is for
back.
phase two?
This is phase two.
This is phase two.
Oh.
Too.
The other thing that is, if you get this money, you know, the 150,000 from the gaming grant, you can use that as a match for DCNR money to reapply for a matching, another 150,000 from DCNR for park improvements. So this could be used, you could double your money if you get this, essentially.
Does this have to go through the planning or zoning or anything like that before somebody could just, the mayor could just say, we're going to put a park there?
Well, that's why we did the strategic plan. I mean, the strategic plan is a DCED.
But
Parks and open space are allowed
But it
under
was-
this commercial zoning.
The alliance did the
Right.
concept of the thing, not the city. That's what, like, does the city, is the
Well, your
city adopting your plan officially?
Well,
Or-
the city zoning ordinance is what essentially drives, you know, whether this this can or cannot be built downtown. And right now it can. The strategic plan is something that, you know, that's why we've involved the city.
Yeah.
We've asked council
I
to
understand.
participate.
I've been to almost
Yeah.
every meeting. Your plan and the city's plan.
The city has no plan.
Well,
That's the
I'm
problem.
not- I understand that, but
yeah.
legally, does the city
They
have to have a
borrowed your
plan in place?
The DCED would look for a plan that has been prepared with community input as a benchmark for evaluating decisions on grants.
This we have till the 31st, so we have 2 more meetings before then. Could this be wait one more meeting till?
What, next Wednesday?
Is there something you need, are you
Whatever, I mean,
This is not our application. This is the city's application.
Wednesday.
city, that's,
So, you know, as long as I believe, as long as it's passed before
Let's look
December
this on if you want.
31st, then it would be
The meeting.
eligible, you know, for submission.
Well, I think Fallon asked for something special, now that you mentioned it, Keith,
Yeah.
to go on the agenda because of the time limitations.
this
Was
is
it
only a
for budget?
resolution.
Not, it wasn't this, for the December
Well,
11th meeting.
that's because it needs 2 readings. That's an ordinance. This is a resolution. It only needs 1 reading.
We can put
Yeah,
it next
I'm
week
just
if we
saying,
wanted to.
maybe if Fallon's here for the next meeting on December 11th when we do the budget,
Why don't we
then
request her?
maybe we can
Yeah.
have her
Why don't we
answer
request her,
questions
yeah.
about
Let's just-
this as well,
I want to make a motion to table this till next meeting.
till the next meeting. We'll have to wait till the 11th, which is a Thursday.
I don't want to make no ill
I'll
decision
I'll
here.
I'll second
Yeah,
that.
that's okay.
I'll second that one right now.
Okay.
On the motion to table.
Bast,
Yes.
Cassatt,
Yes.
Mope,
Yes,
Sosar,
Yes.
Mundy.
Yes. Next is resolution 2014-126, a resolution requesting the local share account funds for City Hall.
I'll present.
Second. Just on the question, if you come back here and take a look at what's happening to this building, and with everything else that's going on with windows and all
Plaster
that,
falling.
I think council might be better off served if we had some hard hats. In some cases that we wore, so I'm fully in favor of this one.
See, I could hide the plaster in my blonde hair, but you have a problem.
I have no hair to hide it in, so I'm in favor of this one. I'm just going to say that.
Roll call.
Bast,
Yes.
Cassatt,
Yes.
Mope,
Yes,
Sosar,
Yes.
Mundy.
Yes. Next, resolution 2014-127, a resolution requesting local share account funds for the purchase of a plow truck for the city of Hazleton.
I'll present.
Second.
Oh,
Who seconded it? Which one?
Sosar.
no, Jeff.
Jeff.
He got it in before
On
me.
the question? Roll call.
Bast,
Yes.
Cassatt,
Yes.
Mope,
Yes,
Sosar,
Yes.
Mundy.
Yes. Next is resolution 2014-128, City of Hazleton Municipal Garage.
I'll present.
Second.
On the question? Roll call.
Bast,
Yes.
Cassatt,
Yes.
Mope,
Yes.
Sosar,
Yes.
Mundy.
Yes. Next, resolution 2014-129, permitting the City of Hazelton to apply for the Luzerne County Local Share Account Grant on behalf of the Downtown Hazelton Alliance of Progress.
I'll present.
I'll second.
On the question? We're okay. No questions, roll call.
Bast,
Yes.
Cassatt,
Yes.
Mope,
Yes.
Sosar,
Yes.
Mundy.
Yes. That's it for our resolutions. Comments from the audience?
Grace Kuzo, I'd like to thank you all for voting for the LSA grant applications for the sewer authority. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
Mark.
I just wanted to say I agree with Jeff on the tabling of for the park, because you're correct, Jeff. The planning commission needs to sign off on it, because under the municipality's planning code, it would be under the official map that the city of Hazleton would, if there was to be any changes done, to the overall layout of the downtown, it would have to be as incorporated in an official map of Hazleton. It would be under Article 4 of the municipality's planning code, Section 401. So that's why, and it says also, it would be under existing and proposed public parks, playgrounds, and open space reservations, that the governing body of each municipality shall have the power to make or cause be made an official map of or portion of the municipality which may show appropriate elements or portions of elements of the plan adopted pursuant to Section 302 with regards to public lands and facilities which may be included. So that's why I think that it should be.
Well, we can ask Lisa to share that with the mayor, being he's the one who is presenting this, I guess, the administration, so that it could be looked into, okay?
Yeah, and also I just wanted to let everybody know that the county council will be having a meeting down in our area next Monday at 5:30 at the Career Center, and they're only here once a year, and it's regards to the budget. So, and also I would like to ask about for the grants for a blight study to be done. As far as I think that we need a blight study to be done in terms of our blighted properties in the city. I just want to let the council know also that Allentown City Council 3 months ago decided to implement a 5-year blight plan that would take care of all their blighted properties. So they're on the ball, and they have $38 million coming in private investment. That's private money, not grant money coming in. So I think we should take their some of their tactics and implement them here. So, all right, thanks. At the Career Center next Monday at 5:30.
The all-purpose room?
Yes.
The all-purpose room?
Yes.
That's, walk in the, right through the administrative offices. And if you walk down the hallway, it's where the school board meets. Yeah.
Yes, where the school
Yeah,
board meeting.
all-purpose room.
Yeah.
The administration building.
Yeah, the amphitheater.
Yeah.
What's
That's
the date, 5:30?
December 8th,
Right.
5:30
No.
at the Career Center in the, like Dr. Sosar said, the all-purpose room. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Okay.
Two quick things. First question I would ask, I won't use the improper word, were the holiday lights that are now up on the new light poles on Broad Street, who paid for them, and how did they get up, and who picked these lights that were put up on Broad Street?
I didn't see them.
As far as I didn't see them
I
either.
don't know.
I think
Nobody
they're
tells me that.
Yeah, because there's lights on.
We don't do day-to-day operations. We're only the council,
Yeah,
okay?
well, I mean, they had to approve the spending somewhere that should have been brought to your attention, because if the city paid for holiday lights, would that be a separation of church and state issues, that the city is paying for holiday lights?
That's a good point. That's a good point. But I'll check into it.
Yeah, I want to make sure, I didn't want to call them holiday lights, I didn't want to make an error in using the C word to describe them,
We
so.
had a Christmas tree lighting we weren't invited to, so we don't know much about the lights right now.
Yeah, because I want to know who, normally in the last time, many years ago, when there were holiday lights were put on Broad Street, different lights were put up and the people in the city picked which one they wanted, and they ended up getting the candy canes that are up for many years, I think, until they fell apart. So that's just wondering, one was a selection, how that was accomplished, and one, where did the funding come from for them, that whatever was addressed.
Krista, do you know anything about the holiday lights? No, not a thing. Evidently, they put them up without the downtown
I'm not
alliance.
blaming you.
Excuse me, I think some of them were donated by Tom Gabus, I think, at one time. I
What?
think some of them were donated by Tom Gabus, but
Oh, that's nice.
I don't know about the rest of them.
I know it sounded like the Grinch, but I thought it was a point that needed to be addressed.
Yeah.
No, but one last point I want to make. Has there been any movement yet on the, I know you say you were looking into what kind of regulations you can make for the hookah lounge. I just want to see where we're at on that.
I talked to the chief, he'll be getting us something soon.
Yeah, I asked Chris to write an ordinance up to get one too.
But he doesn't work for us now.
Well, I asked him a month ago.
We don't have a solicitor now.
Chris to write an ordinance, and we can copy one from
Well, I meant, yeah, to get one from another town that applied to us. I'm sorry. But that was a month ago. I mean, he's probably,
The reason I'm bringing it up again is just something that I want to see get regulated as soon as possible. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank
Ma'am.
you.
When you ask Chris to do stuff, it costs us money. What? I'm just
Hey,
telling you.
you're so good online, Jeff, so I know you could find it somewhere.
I mean, you could get one from another city, and we could all look through it and make whatever changes we want, then maybe give it to Chris. This way he's gonna
What's the
go through it
difference?
now and charge us.
He doesn't review them anyhow.
Wow. He's gonna charge us. Lawyers just like to
We can't because we
charge
didn't get
the
one.
city.
We didn't get one.
Okay, no other
Cancel it.
comments from junior council?
There's only one. He's, no comments tonight, I guess.
Okay. Comments from council?
Just like to thank everyone for coming, and thank Mr. Seymour for coming and staying around and explaining everything to us, and everybody hope gets home safe tonight.
I want to thank for the audit presentation too, and that's a little disappointed that the mayor, administrator, and none of the department heads were here for the audit or budget questions. And we should have been invited to the Christmas light tree lighting, but they always skip
I
us.
know, I missed my candy cane.
I was good enough to be Santa one year, but
Yes, I had him
Didn't know that.
volunteer. He
Oh,
was
yeah,
our
could've
Santa
been your
one
elf.
year.
you could have been the elf. Yeah, good night. That's it, thanks.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming tonight, especially with this bad weather that we're having. Have a nice week. Enjoy yourselves. Don't take us too seriously over here. We're a lot of fun. We won't put you on the hot seat and kill you or anything. But thank you for coming, and thank you for sharing all that information with us. Krista, thank you for coming too. We won't put you on the hot seat either, because that was not your resolution, okay? And the rest of the guys from the departments that usually show up every week, whether it's Rick or Mike or whether it's the city garage workers, we appreciate the fact that they come and they do put their input in. So everybody have a great night.
Mr. Seymour, thank you very much. You enlightened us a lot. I appreciate your time and the energy that you and everybody in your firm put on into this. Thank you very much. To everybody else, thank you for being here. Everybody else has said it already. Be safe, okay? It's a little slick out there, so be safe. And it's not just on the streets, because the guys take care of the streets pretty well. And I've been really happy with them so far. But watch on the sidewalks and that too, okay? Just be careful. And thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Solicitor. I just have one quick thing. Thank you,
And thank you, Chris.
Doing a great job on the audit. And I guess at the next meeting, once we get the final draft, we'll approve it, we'll accept it. Our next meeting now is December 11th, not the 9th. I know it was reported as and I guess.
Thursday?
Yeah.
Thursday, okay.
It's a Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah, okay.
And I guess tomorrow night is the land bank, if anybody wants to do anything, there's a land bank meeting at Penn State at the Grand Building.
Time?
Is it 5?
6:30.
6:30. It's 6:30 at the Grand Building at Penn State.
But I think you're asking, Norman, the next meeting here
Oh, our
will
next
be
meeting is
the
December
11th at 6 o'clock.
It's a Thursday. Yeah, it's here on a Thursday on December 11th.
Okay, I want to thank everybody for coming and drive safely. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.